I'll just make a quick video since it's so difficult for you to hear me on the cell phone that I have. Basically, in working time, a narcissistic person is trying to kill you without murdering your physical body. They're trying to kill who you are, and that's why it interlaces with borderline disorder, because they're trying to steal your personality, or they stole someone else's personality. And a narcissistic person doesn't have their own personality, and they're trying to destroy your personality. And so everything they do, that you try to interact with them and have a relationship with a narcissistic person, every time you reach out to them, they slap you down, and they have preloaded things inside of themselves that, unless you're buying them an expensive brand new gift, if they have preloaded format inside of them, then you're screwed. An example is, a number of years ago, somebody I know gave me a pair of used Nike sneakers that were worth like a decent amount, like, Nike sneakers, Air Jordans or whatever. And so I liked them, but I didn't realize my brother was a hater. So I gave it to him. Right away, he took it and put it right in the garbage. So I asked him, "How were the sneakers?" "What are you talking about?" Like, the sneakers, I left them at your door. I told because he was living with his mother at the time. "Oh, I thought you found them in the garbage. I threw them in the garbage." He throws everything I give him. He throws it in the garbage because he thinks I'm out to get him. So just be careful, because it's preloaded. They have preloaded. I don't know what the word would be. When a person is like going to, they use that word in actually murders. They call it what do they call the murders? The ones that you have they have murders when somebody is like self-defense, and then they have the ones it's premeditated. Narcissistic people have premeditated hate. That's why you don't notice it, and it fools you into thinking it's something real that you did wrong, but it's not. They have programmed them. That's the word I was looking for. Program. They have premeditated programs within themselves, which makes it look like you're the fool. If I hand something to my brother and it doesn't come brand new from the store with a receipt, he's going to throw it in the garbage. But on the other side, he'll find things in the garbage and give it to me and lie to me and say, "Oh, yeah, I paid for this." And then they'll send you like a picture from Google and say, "Oh, look, see? That's how much I paid for it." They have like mental issues. So the reason I talk about this is because I notice it deeply wounds me to be mistreated like this. And I'm not even telling you the stuff that really hurts me the most. I'm telling you the nonsense stuff from years ago. It's just so bad, the stuff that he does. He doesn't just do it to me. He does it to his girlfriends. He does it to, I don't know, he says the most stupid things to me. The recent stupid thing to me he said to me was, there's this guy who lives down the street who's a little bit slow, and we always joke around, and he says to me, "Oh, would you sleep with his sister?" He says to her by her name. He says, "Would you sleep with Judy for $1 million?" Okay, so here's the narcissistic part. If you ask a narcissistic person a question, They think you're trying to destroy their mind. So I say to him, "Who's Judy?" Because he said to me, "Would I sleep with Judy for $1,000,000?" And I'm like, "Who's Judy?" And he thinks I'm fucking with him. And then I try to get along. He trying to get along with an narcissistic person is really draining on you. That's what they mean by saying draining on you. So, by the way, I just walked for 2 miles. So, if I look a little bit like I worked out, it's because I just came back from a walk and then I had that breakfast with no bread in it, and the eggs and the little cheese and potatoes and onions because I'm on a strict diet. But anyway, so I mean, I do exercise, but it's not like as the martial arts that I used to do. I just do basic stuff now. But anyway, so he says to me, "Would you sleep with her for $1,000,000?" Now, let's break that down. Why is he saying that to me? Why would a narcissistic person say that to me? Because he knows I don't like her. This is like a big thing, by the way. This isn't something small. He knows I don't like her as a sexually. He knows that I joke around about her brother because he's a nice guy and everything like that. But sometimes he gets, not because he's slow, because he lies. There's a big difference. I don't have anything against him being slow. And he's a nice guy. The problem I have is he lies a lot. So then, anyway, so he says to me if I would sleep with her, because he's trying to take my mind and break it and put my mind in a situation, and I happen to be a Virgo, and he's trying to put my mind in a situation that's very unclean, and Virgos are very picky about who they sleep with, and they're purists. So he's completely destroying who I am. And that's why it's called borderline disorder, because they cross into places where they don't belong, into your personality. Narcissistic people all have borderline disorder. I don't care if you're a doctor or a therapist, whatever you are, and you want to classify them as not having it. Trust me, the disease has more other things. It has ADHD, borderline disorder. Anything to take your attention off of what you're doing is ADHD. They'll talk about other subjects while you're speaking. Anything to destroy you. And if you're a therapist, you know more than I do about what the other classifications are. And you can just throw that in there, because narcissistic people, narcissistic hate, just use any means they can to destroy your mind and destroy you. I don't know why, though. A therapist knows these answers. I'm only telling you from my perspective, because I know psychology. I am in no way, shape, or form a specialist about narcissistic people. All I'm saying is I try to get along with them, and it's very much that they just want to get rid of you and have nothing to do with you, and to steal from you and destroy you, and they hate you. If they hate you, everything they do is to hate you. But always remember that a therapist will tell you this. A narcissist knows how to shower you with gifts, make you get along with them, make you like them, treat you temporarily so that you get hooked on them, and then they discard you. So I am not a therapist. I am just telling you the hell that I go through. Another example that comes to mind is when they when they intrude on your stomping ground, which means that I used to go to the Shell gas station a lot, and when I go there, I don't hang out with people that work there. And sure, it might be normal that that's the way my brother is. He wants to chat with the people that work there, but I don't. I'm not that type of person. I go in, I pay for whatever, and I leave. My brother isn't that type of person. He hangs over the counter. He brings preloaded papers and photos to show. I don't get along with the guy who works there. First of all, as you can see from the video, I'm a white guy, and I don't even know what nationality they are. I'm not sure if they're Spanish or if they're from the Middle East, because they look like a Middle Eastern. I don't know. I don't care. I don't pay attention to that stuff. If I wanted to know, I would ask them what they are. I know that the guy in the deli counter is always listening to Spanish music, and I know the guy on the cashiers looks more like he's Middle Eastern. That's why there's two different people there. I don't know which one. That's why there's a lot of customers there too that are from the Middle East, and I don't know exactly which country. So it's confusing. The guy at the cashier, all the customers that drive taxis, they're all like, I don't know from where. Could be Palestine, could be Pakistan. I don't know. I don't care. And the guy behind the deli counter, I'm pretty sure he's Puerto Rican, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know them is what I'm saying. I never had it in my mind to pay that much attention to what nationality they are, because I don't look at anybody when I walk in. I walk in, I grab a coffee, and I leave, and I pay for the gas. I don't look at anyone. Why would I look at them? I don't want them to look back at me. I just pay for it, get a receipt, and leave. So anyway, he's leaning over the counter, showing them whatever, his guitar, his toys, whatever. I don't know. I guess that's narcissistic. I'm not that type of person. I don't tell the guy anything about my guitar, or I am not that type of person. I don't think most New Yorkers are. But why does that bother me? Why am I saying that? Not because I'm just ranting. No. This is a place that my stomping ground, that I had been going to, that I showed him, and it's just the way he just like exploits it and then takes over to make it seem like everyone's his friend. Oh, but a great guy. He's having way too many conversations about who I am, anything about my life, physical condition, how much money I make. Way too revealing to them, giving out way too much information, especially in New York City, and goes to the counter and hangs out way too long. And it's like, the bottom line is he's trying to show me that he can be friends with anyone. It's the most stupid, childish thing I've ever could imagine. This is New York City. People don't do that. I'm not gonna walk into a store and try to make friends with somebody who's trapped at the counter. That's like, why? You know how busy that counter is? People come in to play lottery. People come in to get gas. People come in to buy cigarettes. People come in to buy coffee. People come in to use the bathroom. People come in to buy candy. People come in to get a sandwich. You understand what I'm saying? Why that's stupid? And of course, there's the next step. What is he gonna do? Start hanging around with the guy at his house? You see how that's intrusive behavior? I don't know. I asked him. I said, "So you know the guy now? How old is he?" He said, "Oh, 29 or 32." I'm like, okay, shit. I'm just surprised that he would even know. That's like one of the questions that he always brings up. So then I bring it up. He asked me the other day how old somebody was. So then I figure, I don't know if that's how you judge people. How old is he? Then I'm not trying to mock anyone. So anyway, you understand what I'm saying about this narcissistic stuff? Let's say, for example, you have a girlfriend, and that you're a girl, and you have a female friend. How uncomfortable would it make you if all of a sudden your boyfriend is exploiting you because you have a friend, and he starts like hanging out with your friend to find out more about her family, her life, and he shares his life with her? You're gonna start thinking, what is this? Is he trying to date her? Why does he give a shit? Why is he looking so much into it? Why is he sharing so much of himself with her? You see, they have borderline disorder. What am I saying to you? That they can't have a relationship with you. So right in front of you, they cannot have a relationship with you. So right in front of you, they're pretending to be capable of having a relationship. But they're not. They're distracting you. They're stealing your stomping ground away from you. I'm saying all this off the top of my head because I have a very high IQ. I'm not making any of this stuff up. I'm just venting out all the things that bother me, because if it helps you, it helps me. Okay, so I'm using my photographic memory to remember what he does, and I'm just chatting with you. I'm not making any of this stuff up. So then, borderline disorder, and then he's showing how great is greatness, which falls into worshiping. People who are narcissistic don't understand what God is. You worship God. They want you to worship them. They're trying to show you how great they are, that they're becoming friends with some. You're not becoming friends with anyone. The guy's a cashier, and he's bored out of his fucking skull. The only reason he's listening to you is because you're so stupid that you're talking to him about, you're revealing things about yourself that a normal person wouldn't talk about. They think you're retarded. Oh yeah, that's your motorcycle? Oh, that's nice. Can I ride it? It's just pure stupidity. It's a fucking tough neighborhood. Lots of thugs. The reason I didn't get along with anyone in there for so long is because whenever I went in there, I was so busy being picked on because it was right next to one of those Section 8 hotels where all these hookers and these young guys and people from Venezuela are all picking on me, telling me I have to give them money, and I'm getting into fights. And he's acting like, oh yeah? You never made friends with the cashier? What are you gonna do? I mean, what is this? This is some kind of an alpha beta male thing where you're trying to show that you're better than me because listen, if you have to make friends with the cashier so bad, I don't think you're an alpha male. I think you're more like a beta male, and you want the cashier to be your alpha. And I'm not an alpha male, you see. So, and I'm not a beta male either. There's other categories. So I don't care about that stuff. You want to be an alpha male, I hope you're a real alpha male, because there's a lot of fake ones out there, and the fake ones all want to pretend that they're alpha males. And when I'm walking around at 2 o'clock in the morning, what do you think the number one thing is about why I don't get into a fight? What do you think it is? Number one, I practice martial arts in the worst possible places you could imagine. In parks, in New York City in the middle of the night where creeps hang out. And I, I don't know what to say to you about that. It's completely pitch black in the like a forest in Queens. That's where I used to work out when I was younger. I used to make myself tough. Okay, number one, that's number one. Number two, when I walk around at night, why don't I get into fights? Because I'm aware of what's creeping up behind me. Okay, number three, why I don't get into fights. I'm not talking about being tough. Why I do not get into fights. Okay, so number three is beta males or fake alpha males, a lot of them. And the only thing they do when they try to start a fight with me, and it's not funny, I just don't know why I'm like smirking, is they start to walk on your path like they're gonna walk towards you. And the worst possible ones are the ones that don't give up. I had one yesterday that did that to me. I'll explain it to you. This big tall guy, I don't know if he sees me and I don't see him, but I always see this part, them crossing the street to where I am. Sometimes I do start fights with them when they get too pushy. When I'm crossing the street and they're crossing the street, and all of a sudden, instead of them crossing the street, they start walking straight to me because I'm not looking. That's one of the things that they do when they're sick. That instead of just crossing the street where they are, they change their direction and I just start walking towards them. I'm like, all right, whatever. And so then, yesterday, I was walking. This guy crossed the street on Crescent Street. He was a big guy, but they always pretend they don't see you. And he crossed the street, and then he kept looking at me, and then he crossed the street, he started walking on my side of the sidewalk where I was walking, and I just stopped walking because I thought he was going into the building the way he was acting. So I stopped at the entrance of the building. He just kept coming directly towards me. And he was staring at me from far away, but then when he came closer, he was pretending that he was looking at his cell phone. And I'm ready to punch him in his fucking face. That's why they don't pick on me. And then I'm standing there. I'm not taking a stance or something, but, and so I'm standing there a lot. I'm not being tough or anything. I'm being passive, but it doesn't take me more than a half a second to go from being passive to punching someone in the face if they attack me. So then anyway, I'm standing still because I thought he was going into the entranceway because he's crossing the street for no reason. He had a sidewalk on his side of the street. Alright, so then he's walking right towards me, thinking I'm going to get out of his way, I guess. But I'm not in his way. I'm standing still, and I'm standing up against some bushes, and I'm like thinking, why is he doing this? This is pretty thick. Let's see if he goes inside the building. And he doesn't. Then he looks up pretending. Narcissistic people are always actors. They're liars. He looks up like, oh, I didn't know you were there. Like, huh? Somebody's there? Okay, so then what's the last thing you want to do after they pass you? But what's the thing you have to do if it was 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning? You have to turn back and look to see if they're right behind you, because they can sneak up on you and stab you in your back. You have to turn around to see. You can't rely on anything like maybe I got a good vibe out, or maybe they were scared of me. No, you can't do that. You have to turn around. It's the same like being a cop. The cop is prescribed as having to follow the law, so they won't lose their job. You have to do the same thing a cop does. You can't go around injuring or attacking anyone. You have to stay within the law. But in order to protect yourself, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You can't do anything illegal. If somebody attacks you, you can punch them in the face, or wherever you want, with your hand, but not with a weapon, if they attack you first. And hopefully they attack you near a camera, so the camera captures them attacking you if they attack you, but you can't provoke them. And so anyway, I turn around because something's like making me uncentered. How do I know that? Every car that goes by makes me feel like I'm being watched. Every car that goes by on Crescent Street makes me feel like I'm standing out like a beacon. So that's how I know he's standing there staring at me. Because that's not normal for every car that goes by to make you feel like you're standing there like a beacon with a red light blinking and you feel like everyone's staring into your eyes. That's because he's staring into your... That's because someone else is looking at you. That's why you feel like someone's staring at you when the car goes by, because the guy's standing there staring at you. So I turn around and he's standing there staring at me, and then he just starts walking because I turned around, and then I leave. Okay, so anyway, like I said, I'm not an alpha male, but I'm not a beta male. Alright? And all narcissistic men think that they are an alpha male. And they'll do anything in their power to prove it to you, but they're not. An alpha male is a very honed creature, and you can look on alpha male dogs on the internet. Alpha male dogs are not mean. They're just in charge and capable of beating another dog up, but they don't go around beating other dogs up. Again, I am not an alpha male. Okay, that's important, because I don't claim to be one, and I am not one. I have always never been an alpha male, and it's the only reason I have like any kind of power is because I practiced martial arts, because I used to get picked on so much. Not because I'm an alpha male, but because I practice martial arts. I am not an alpha male.